Hello, welcome back to another video tutorial here at Geek and Play Studios. My name's Gary Miller. Let's get started with our skyscraper modeling. Actually, it can be the construction methods we would be using for this would be identical for building any large type of building. So under the 3D Primitives tab, I'm going to come up here to Grid, and I'm just going to create one cell, one grid, and type in 1 here, type in 1, enter, and come down and validate it. I wasn't concerned about its size initially. Over here in the position area, I want to zero this out and place it in the center of my 3D universe. Now for size, I want it to be 2 units wide and 3 units high. I'm going to come up here and create a cube, and I want its size to be 0.25, 0.25, and 0.25. Roughly move it down here into its proper location. I'm going to come up here to Snap Align tool, snap on that corner, snap on the corner of my cell here. I'll come up here to select points, right click, select the top 4 points, come back to my Snap Align tool, click on that corner, and click on that corner, and it puts it right into place where I want it to be. I think I'll call this wall. Start naming things now before it gets out of control. Control D, I want to duplicate that. Move it up there. And I'll call this one window. On this cube that I just created, I'm going to select the top edge here, and I'm just going to bring this top piece down just a little bit. Click on the front face of it, and I'll bring it in. This is just to add a little separation between the windows and add a little detail. Okay, that looks good. For this piece here, Control D to duplicate that, and I'm going to snap this one into place. Snap on the back, snap on my window, validate that tool. Okay, now what I want to do is select my wall here and that cube that I just created. Come over here to Utilities, click on Multiple Copies, and I'm going to create 9 copies to make it 10 sections across. Validate that. Now to start keeping things simple, I want to start cleaning up all these groups. Let me make a copy of this. No, I don't need to make a copy of that. I'm going to start cleaning up my group, all my items, because we're going to end up with a whole bunch of pieces here, and unless I start organizing things now, it gets a little hectic. So I'm just going to select these wall pieces, weld them together. I'll call this wall, and all of these pieces, select all of them, weld them together, and I'll call them pillars. Create one more cube, 0.25, 0.25, and 0.25 for its size. And I will move it down here. I want this one to be a little dividing piece that goes horizontally across my object. So let's snap align this right there. Validate that. We can bring this in, the front face of it in just a little bit. Come up here to select points, select those 4 points, and I'm going to use my Snap Align tool again and stretch that whole object across the front there. Select that edge. Come over here and select the other front edge. I'm just going to bring them together a little bit. Add a little bit of an angle. and probably a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to have to dial this in numerically. There we are. Okay, I'll call this piece horizontal pillar. Okay, now that's our ground floor, one side of it anyway. Now let's come over here to our window, and let's put the window into place. I'm going to come here and snap that corner, snap to the top of this wall piece. Now I want to increase its distance away the same distance, the same width as this cube horizontal pillar that we created. So I'm just going to make this 3.25, enter. And now it's sitting right at the top there. Now before I duplicate this, I want to create windows out of it. So come up here, select that face, vertex modeling. And I want to use the inner radial function of this tool, and I want to create a window frame here. Let me try this again. There we are, a window frame. And I'm going to click there and validate that tool. What I want to do is bring the sides in so that it's symmetrical. Now with that face selected, sweep surface tool again, and I will extrude inwards a little bit. Click, and now I want to use the radial function, create a inner window frame. Click, validate that, select it. I want to make the inside symmetrical as well, and that looks good. And now one final inner extrude, just a little bit, just to add some detail, and that looks good. I'm going to click on my window, come up here to extract, and I'll call this glass. And this piece is now my window frame. Okay, so let me select my window and my window frame. And now it's time to start duplicating this, the same as we did for the wall sections of our ground floor. So let's come over here to Utilities, Multiple Copies. Let's dial in a number of 9. And the offset, let's play with the offset. Let's hide this horizontal piece. Let's see, 2.2, 2.3, let's try 2.25. And that will do that. Let me ungroup this and start making my selections of my windows. I'll weld all these together. Weld that. Let's call this glass. Select my window frames. Weld those together. So we've got our second floor done. Let's select all of those. And let's duplicate those, but instead of horizontally, I want to do it vertically. So let's just dial in our number here, and it should be exactly 3 because that's the height of each of these sections. And now let's create a bunch of vertical copies. I'll make 8 to make this a 10-story 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 building. Now we'll come back to these pillars here, and let's hide that, that, and that. Come over here to select points. I'm going to right click and drag and select all of those top points. Let's kind of spin around to the back here. I want to use my snap align tool, snap there, and snap on the corner of my top window, and that stretches all of them up. And so let's take a quick look at what we've got here. Do a little quick render, and there is one side of our building. We're almost done with it, but I'm going to stop this video here and we will continue on in the next session. So that's it for this tutorial. Thanks for watching here at Geek at Play Studios. My name's Gary Miller. Have a good day.